I built a scene using only photos. Last time I used ready-made assets from BlenderKit to create a scene, and this was the result. Now we're literally using photos projected onto cubes to create buildings. How cool is that? Okay, let's get started. First off, we're going to block out the scene by placing cubes of different sizes and shapes randomly around the area to create a rough layout. The same goes for the street. I'm also going to project a photo onto it to create the layout. This whole scene is made entirely from photos and simple shapes. So this is really not difficult. Anyone can do this. Go ahead and have fun with it. During the blockout phase, you can really let your imagination go wild. Build whatever you feel like. This is your world. And whenever you feel stuck, reference photos can help you get inspired, because sometimes you just don't know how to start or what to do next. And before you know it, your little city's blockout is done, giving you a foundation to start from. Moving on to the next step, let's get some photos to turn these cubes into realistic houses. Here, I'm downloading photos from Pinterest and Google to project onto the cubes. And now it's just a matter of fitting and aligning the faces of the cubes onto the photos so they look right. And after that, you'll start adding loop cuts so you can extrude the shapes and start giving the cubes more of the actual house form. Fun fact, even simple shapes can make surprisingly realistic buildings when you use photos correctly. And believe me when I say that this level of Blender, as I'm doing here, is really not advanced. This is literally basic Blender knowledge that anyone can learn in just a few weeks. And to get better realism, I'm adding loop cuts here so I can pull the shapes a bit crooked. Because in the real world, nothing is perfectly straight. Onto the street, we're doing the same simple stuff, just projecting a photo onto the plane to make it look like an actual street. This street might be a little crooked, but hey, at least there are no potholes. Ha 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 ha. Now I'm adding some texture and detail by using a bump node, so it doesn't look too smooth, just to give it some character. Actually, I'm going to do this with everything, because, well, why not? It just makes everything look a bit more interesting. And I think the more detail you add, the better it gets. Well, that's not always true, but in this case, it definitely is. The thing is, compared to my previous project, this one definitely needs more work. In the last one, I just downloaded ready-made assets from BlenderKit, but with this project, you have much more control over the final overall look. The only thing I haven't mentioned yet is that when I select the windows, I replace them with a glass shader, so I can place lights inside the house and have the lighting visible from the outside. Now we reach a point where you basically need to repeat this process for every building. And you can do anything you want with these buildings. For example, you could make a short movie and add people into the scene using a green screen. The only thing to watch out for is using the correct lighting while recording, so the people blend nicely into the scene. So that might be my new project. Who knows? Let me know if you want to see me doing something like that. And I know it takes a long time to build something like this, but we're almost done. Not long now until we can start working on the lighting. Keep going. I feel the layout is right, that's when I start working on the lighting. This gives you an idea of the final result, and make sure to take your time here, because the right lighting can really make your scene. It's starting to take shape, and anyone can do this with just minimal skills. Anyone can learn it. Just adding a bit of fog to make the scene feel more cinematic. And that's it!